I mean, what could I say? What could I say? It's just sad. It's just sad. This team, I thought, you know what? You finally string together back-to-back wins. And they weren't necessarily sexy wins, but I thought maybe, just maybe, we could build something here. You are facing the Cardinals, who are, if you're not aware, by record at least, the worst team in the National League. They're fifth place in their division, in the worst division, arguably, in the entire sport. And you're going against 41-year-old Adam Wainwright, who came into this game with a, what, 5.7, 5.8 ERA or something? That's the guy you're facing. And you string 3 runs together. 3. Anyone else notice a problem here, too? Outside of Brett Beatty, the only other person to get 2 hits for the Mets today, Luis Guillorme. You're just simply not winning baseball games that way. Mets lose 5-3 to the St. Louis Cardinals. Since I didn't say that, leave a like if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new, especially if you're Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live on the channel. Let's just jump into it. I'm just infuriated. I'm just infuriated, and I don't know why I'm infuriated, because it's like, why do I even bother wasting my breath and energy on when like it just feels like I know the results at this point. Just feels like I know the results. And shame on me, I guess, for caring this much, right? I guess that's really what it comes down to. Shame on me for caring. Mets now 4.5 back, by the way, in the wild card. 11.5 in the division. Isn't that great, considering where we were just last year? Oh my god. Okay, let's talk about it. Brendan Donovan, by the way, I couldn't watch the first portion of this game. I think the 4th innings when I was able to turn it on. So, uh, hey, the Mets won the game from when I started watching. Hooray. Anyway, Brendan Donovan pops out to lead things off. Paul Goldschmidt gets a single. Nolan Arenado flies out. Wilson Contreras gets hit by a pitch. And then a wild pitch by Kodai Senga advances Goldschmidt and Contreras another base. Jordan Walker then walks, and then Nolan Gorman strikes out. Huge strikeout there for Kodai Senga to get out of a jam there, bases loaded jam. Bottom of the first, Brandon Nimmo leads things off with a home run. The Mets score first. Oh my god, we win baseball games that way. Well, not lately, because we saw it happen against the Yankees too. But Brandon Nimmo hits a big home run to make it a 1-0 ball game. Then Starling Marte flies out. Jeff McNeil grounds out. Tommy Pham flies out. We go to the top of the second, and yeah, Paul DeJong strikes out. Tommy Edman with a double. Burleson with a strikeout. And everybody wave goodbye to the lead. Everybody wave goodbye to the lead, because we knew it wasn't going to last long. Brendan Donovan hits a single. The game is tied at 1. And if that wasn't good enough, we'll wave goodbye to even ball game, as Paul Goldschmidt hits a home run to make it a 3-1 ball game. Hits that one opposite field, by the way. Isn't that one fun? Yeah, so Nolan Arenado then strikes out. We go to the bottom of the second. Brett Beatty leads things off with a single. Alvarez flies out. Vogelback draws a walk, and then Mark Hanna hits into a double play. And that is the end of the inning. Top of the third, Wilson Contreras grounds out, and then Jordan Walker joins the party and hits himself a home run as well, which is an opposite field home run too. And that makes it a 4-1 ball game. Nolan Gorman flies out. Paul DeJong strikes out. Bottom of the third, Luis Guillorme with a flyout, Brandon Nimmo with a pop out, Starling Marte with a double, and then Jeff McNeil grounds out. We go to the top of the fourth as Senga finally gets a 1-2-3 inning as he gets Edman and Burleson to line out, and then Donovan grounds out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Tommy Pham leads things off with a single, and we love to kill leadoff hits with double plays, as that's what Brett Beatty does. Alvarez then lines out. Top of the fifth, Goldschmidt strikes out. Arenado lines out. Contreras gets on because Luis Guillorme, who usually makes routine plays look very easy, makes difficult plays even look very easy. He ends up letting that one go through like he's got Carey Price's 5-hole, and he reaches on with an error, and then Senga throws a wild pitch. Contreras advances to second. Jordan Walker then strikes out, so he gets out of a little bit of trouble there. And then bottom of the fifth, Daniel Vogelbach with a leadoff single. Again, nice to see Vogelbach swinging the bat quite a bit today. A lot of contact outside. He struck out, I think, once, which is improvement, I guess. But Mark Cannon then strikes out, and then Luis Guillorme, when that went off the bat, I was like, yeah, that's not leaving the ballpark. And it did. That made it a 4-3 game. And Luis Guillorme, who would have thought that he could have hit a home run? I had my doubts. Nimmo then walks, and the Mets finally had momentum, and Marte strikes out. McNeil grounds out to kill said momentum. We go to the top of the sixth, where Nolan Gorman flies out. Paul DeJong pops out. Tommy Edman strikes out. Bottom of the sixth, Tommy Pham grounds out. Brett Beatty strikes out. Francisco Alvarez gets a single, and then Daniel Vogelbach grounds out. Top of the seventh, we go back-to-back groundouts, and then Senga exits the ball game, and I found it odd personally, and I kind of laughed because it's like, why he gets a standing ovation walking off the mound. I'm sorry, I don't think his performance today warranted a standing O off the mound. He just wasn't good enough today. Like, I'm sorry to be like an asshole and everything, but like, I'm sorry, Senga's start did not warrant a standing ovation off the mound. It didn't warrant boos. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Met fans should have booed. I thought it should have just been let him walk off the mound, whatever sort of deal. I found it odd after 4-run ball. I guess because he settled in, but like, really? We're giving him a standing ovation for that start? Anyway, Jeff Brigham comes into the game. He walks Paul Goldschmidt and then gets Nolan Arenado to ground into a force out. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Mark Hanna flies out, and that is all for Adam Wainwright, who the Mets failed to capitalize on, who, by the way, was not throwing hard by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think there couldn't have been a single pitch that he threw that was over 100 or over 100, over 90 miles an hour. That is, nonetheless. Like, did he even throw a pitch 90 miles an hour? No, he didn't. Not one pitch over 90 miles an hour. And the Mets couldn't score more than 3 runs on him. Right. Anyway, Guillorme with a double for his second hit of the game. Again, who would have thought that he was going to get some extra base hits? Who had that on the bingo card? Certainly not me. Brandon Nimmo then grounds out. Marte with a walk, and McNeil grounds out. We go to the top of the eighth, where thankfully a 1-2-3 inning. Contreras flies out. Walker lines out. Raley comes in the pitch. He gets a ground out on Gorman, which I find it weird when they showed the splits that he's not that good against lefties. I thought he was better than that, but regardless, Gallegos comes into the baseball game and he strikes out Tommy Pham. Brett Beatty gets a single, and then Alvarez flies out. Vogelbach strikes out. We go to the top of the ninth. And Brooks Raley just makes me lose my mind sometimes. Paul DeJong with a single. And then what we thought was a double play from Tommy Edman ended up not being the case, as he beat out the play at first, and it was clear as day. It shouldn't have even been called a double play initially, but they review it and it gets overturned. Tommy Edman is safe on first. And yeah, and then you had, I don't know when it was, but you had Mark Canna dropping a routine pop out, and pop up, pop out in foul ground. I mean, it was just a mess. And then, yeah, Carlson comes up the pitch hit, and Tommy Edmonds steals second, and then Dylan Carlson drives in the run with a RBI single, and then Donovan joins the party with a single. That brings Adam Ottavino in, who gets back-to-back strikeouts, and thankfully we didn't have to worry about the Mets, them giving up a run there in the ninth, and then them scoring just one run in the bottom of the ninth, because why would that happen? As Jordan Hicks comes in, could not find the strike zone if his life depended on him at first. Hits Francisco Lindor. Guillorme strikes out swinging at the most ridiculous pitch out of the zone. Then a wild pitch by Hicks advances Lindor to second. Nimmo strikes out. Marte strikes out. And that is your ball game. Your final score is 5-3. The Cardinals win. 9 hits for the Mets, 8 for the Cardinals, 1 error for the Mets, none for the Cardinals. Yep. What a good time. What a good time, right? 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, 8 left on total. Yeah. Yep. Brandon Nimmo 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout and an RBI. Hey, I'm not gonna rip him apart. Marte goes 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. I would have liked for both of them to have been more patient with Jordan Hicks in the game with the way he was throwing the baseball around. But at the same time, Marte too. I mean, that strikeout. I mean, he took some pitches that he should have been able to. He should have been able to hit. McNeil 0 for 4. I will ask again for at least the 50,000th time. Why is he hitting third? The world won't know. And I can't fathom it. I can't fathom the fact that he's hitting third. There is just zero reason for it to be happening. I know Alonso's out, but come on. Come on. And I know Lindor wasn't in the lineup, but Alvarez or Beatty, I'd rather watch them struggle hitting in the 3-hole than Jeff McNeil continue to be put there when he clearly doesn't belong in the 3-hole. He doesn't. Pham 1 for 4 with a strikeout. You maybe could have got more from him, but Brett Beatty 2 for 4 with a strikeout. I'm not mad at him. Alvarez 1 for 4. Maybe would have liked a timely hit from him. Vogelback 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Contributed to a little bit of a rally where Guillorme had a home run. Mark Canha 0 for 3. Yeah, this team needs Pete Alonso back because Mark Canha playing first base every day is not cutting it at all. And Guillorme 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a strikeout. I didn't think he should have been hitting there in the ninth. I thought they should have put even Narvaez up or Vientos, but doesn't matter. At the same time, I can't get on Buck for that because Guillorme was already 2 for 3 on the day. I couldn't really argue that one. And then Kodai Senga, 5 hits against, 1 walk, 4 earned runs. It's not like he was like, again, I just question the standing ovation. 8 strikeouts, sure, but he allowed 2 home runs. I know 2 of them opposite field, but come on. Come on. We can't be serious with the standing ovation now, can we? Come on. Jeff Brigham in an inning of work, allowed a walk, but he wasn't awful. Brooks Raley, yikes. 3 hits against, 1 earned run against. Yikes. I mean, and then Adam Ottavino, he faced 2 batters, got 2 strikeouts. Good work from him. But when you just look at the Savant page too, like Kodai Senga was just not good today. He wasn't. The spin was down on everything except for the cutter. It was slightly up. And actually, no, I was looking at the velocity. The velocity, I meant the spin. That's what I wanted to look at. His fastball spin was up, but outside of that, everything, that slider was very down today. I don't know what to say. This was a game that you should have won. You had Senga on the mound. You had Wainwright on the other side. And now Carlos Carrasco will trot out there tomorrow trying to win the series for the Mets against Liberatore. Oh, if we can't win a series against the Cardinals, oh my God. Oh boy. All right. That's going to be it for me. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a go live next. And I'll see you in the next one. Let's go, Mets, I guess.